All right, let's just jump right into this explainer. Today, we're going to completely demystify the seriously complex biology of human nutrition. Forget all the noise, forget the endless diet wars you see online. We're going to strip the whole shebang down to the absolute basics. Think of it like taking a VIP tour of the incredible 24/7 mechanical factory that is your body. We'll check out the inputs, the machinery, and exactly how everything gets processed.
So, we've all heard that old saying, right? You are what you eat. It's super catchy, probably something your parents told you growing up. But when we actually sit down and look at the hard science of our bodily engines, you gotta wonder, is that famous piece of wisdom actually true? Well, it turns out it's completely wrong. Actually, scratch that, it's more like you are what you absorb. Nutrition is literally just your body extracting nutrients from food. So if a nutrient just passes right through you without being picked up by your cellular machinery, it doesn't become part of you. At the end of the day, it is all about absorption.
Okay, let's kick things off with Phase 1, the factory floor. It all starts right in the mouth. Think of it as a built-in grinder that chops your food into a paste. Next, it drops down into the stomach, which is essentially this heavy-duty demolition acid tank, where proteins unfold and everything turns into usable mush. From there, it slides into the small intestine. Now this is the ultimate absorption zone. It's lined with this microscopic carpet of villi, kind of like the tiny loops on a towel that multiply the surface area so they can soak up all those nutrients. And finally, everything that gets absorbed reports straight to the liver. The liver is the boss. It's the grand command center deciding right then and there whether to burn a nutrient, store it for later, or detox it.
Moving right along to Phase 2, the raw materials. Let's talk about our body's absolute favorite preferred fuel. Carbohydrates. Now, all carbs eventually convert to glucose, but how they're built makes a massive difference. Simple carbs, they're these tiny, easily broken chains. They cause super fast blood sugar spikes, followed by fast crashes and rapid hunger. Complex carbs, on the flip side, are long, tangled chains. Your body literally has to take time to unravel them, which gives you slow digestion and this really smooth, steady energy that actually keeps you full. Now, when it comes to fats, their actual molecular structure dictates whether they're a healthy transport system or total garbage for your body. Listen, fat is absolutely not the enemy here. Your brain is literally 60% fat, and it's super vital for hormone transport. Saturated fats are solid and stable. Monounsaturated fats, like what you'd find in olive oil, are basically the gold standard for everyday health. Polyunsaturated fats are liquid and a bit more fragile, meaning they oxidize easily under high heat. And then we have artificial trans fats. These are industrially created, highly rigid shapes that your body completely struggles to process. You want to avoid those entirely, no question.
And then, of course, we've got protein, the essential Lego bricks of your cells. But here's the fascinating part about building muscle. Your body has this biological build switch that gets activated by a specific amino acid called leucine. To physically flip that leucine switch and trigger muscle building, you need to eat about 30 grams of quality protein in a single meal. Just grazing on tiny amounts of protein all day long, that just won't flip the switch.
A truly healthy metabolism basically operates like a hybrid engine. When you eat, your blood sugar goes up, and you enter sugar mode to burn that off first. But if you stop snacking all day and let that sugar mode completely empty out, your body flips the switch. It enters fat mode and actually starts burning your stored body fat for energy. This is what we call metabolic flexibility. And constant snacking, it completely prevents your body from ever making that switch.
All right, up next is Phase 3, the igniters.
When we look at vitamins, it helps to think of them in two totally distinct camps. Fat-soluble vitamins, so that's A, D, E, and K, are your long-term renters. They move in and stick around, storing themselves in your liver and body fat for weeks. But water-soluble vitamins, like your B complex and vitamin C, they're just tourists. They pop in, do their job, and whatever doesn't get used immediately just leaves your body quickly through your pee. And since they don't stick around, you've got to constantly refuel them.
Right alongside vitamins, we've got minerals. These are literal, raw elements from the earth that your factory absolutely needs to keep running smoothly. You can group them by their jobs. The electricians handle your nerve signals and fluid balance. The builders provide the hardcore structural material for your bones and teeth. And the catalysts? They act like specialized tools. Think of iron carrying oxygen in your blood, or zinc triggering cellular growth.
Which brings us to Phase 4, factory maintenance.
Did you know your gut is practically your second brain? It's this long tube packed with millions of neurons that is just constantly chatting with the brain up in your head, and it heavily influences your mood and even your immune system. It all relies on this super delicate microbiome of good bacteria. They basically ferment the fiber you eat into compounds that actively lower inflammation and protect the physical mucus wall of your intestines.
So, what happens when things go wrong? When you constantly irritate that environment with bad diets or immense stress, well, that protective mucus layer in your gut thins out, and this creates a condition called leaky gut. It's exactly what it sounds like. Bacteria and toxins literally escape the digestive tube, leak into your bloodstream, and trigger severe cellular breakdown all over your body.
This cellular breakdown happens in 3 incredibly brutal ways. First up is inflammation. This acts like a wildfire, slowly burning down your healthy tissue. Second is oxidation, where free radicals literally rust your cells and damage your DNA, kind of like a car puffing out dirty exhaust. And third is glycation. This is where excess sugar binds to your proteins and caramelizes into this sticky gunk, causing things like stiff joints and wrinkles.
And here's the crazy part. Our bodies really struggle to clean up this damage because modern food engineering is actively hijacking our ancient biology. It spikes our insulin, locking down our fat stores and blocking cellular cleanup. It absolutely surges our dopamine with these perfectly engineered flavors, making us totally ignore our full signals so we just keep eating. And it cranks up cortisol, the stress alarm that literally melts down your muscle tissue into belly fat because your body is convinced you're running from a predator.
These food engineers are literally working against your biology. They're pumping food full of preservatives to extend shelf life, and they use emulsifiers, which are essentially industrial soaps that physically scrub away that protective gut lining we were just talking about. Insane, right? So the absolute easiest, most bulletproof rule to avoid this whole trap: if a food didn't exist 200 years ago, just try to avoid it.
Okay, let's get practical. Here is the operating manual. Here is your logical 4-step game plan for optimal nutrition. Step 1, cut the crap and eliminate industrial, ultra-processed food. Step 2, lock in your foundation with highly satiating protein to physically shut down those hunger signals. Step 3, treat your carbs and fats like energy dials. Just turn them up or down, depending on how active your lifestyle is. And Step 4, only after you've nailed the first 3, use high-quality supplements to fill in any specific nutritional holes. The absolute bedrock of Step 1 is the simple 1-ingredient rule. Honestly, you don't need a PhD to eat well. The best foods out there don't have some massive, unpronounceable list of ingredients on the back of a box. They are the ingredients. Steak is just steak. Broccoli is just broccoli. They're naturally, perfectly packaged by nature for your body to absorb. So, there you have it. You now have the complete operating manual for your body's food factory. The power is entirely in your hands, and the machinery is just sitting there waiting for the right inputs. The only question left is, which of these 4 steps are you going to take today to start upgrading your biological factory?